haven't I been telling y'all that I had my eye on that Christopher? Let's talk about it.
Roxiie says we're gonna talk about it.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Roxiie with Roxiie Says, and we're gonna talk about it. Today we are here to review Love is Blind Season 10, Episode 8. Listen, I was waiting for the other shoe to drop. And it finally dropped in this episode. Let's get right into it. But before we do, don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure that you hit that notification bell so that you're made aware every time I upload. And I just want to say thank you so much and welcome to all of the new subscribers. Thank you to all my day ones. I appreciate each and every single one of y'all. Y'all have been showing me so much love. I tried to change the format this season. I'm doing videos individually and y'all have been supporting each and every single one. So thank you all so much. I put a lot of time and effort into these videos, so I'm really happy that y'all are enjoying the content. So let's get into this review. Okay, so the weddings are 19 days away and we see Chris giving Jess a tour of his apartment. Chris says that his apartment is very small, so it would make more sense for him to stay with her. He didn't really finish that sentence, but that's what was implied and Jess agreed with that idea. Chris says that he told his parents that Jess doesn't want kids and he claims that his parents are absolutely cool with that. This brings Jess a lot of relief because she was worried about what they would say about it. So apparently Jess made it very clear in the pods that she didn't want kids. I wish that we got to see more of that conversation with Jess's definitive no, as opposed to Emma's whatever she's been doing. All right. So Jess tells Chris that she knows that he would make an amazing dad if later down the line they all of a sudden decide that they do want kids. She says that she would be open to it, but that's just not something that she sees in their future right now. And Chris seems to be more than okay with that. So they take a visit to Jess's 4-bedroom house and it's absolutely beautiful. She says that she created a life that she loves all on her own, but she felt very at peace bringing Chris into that space, okay? And he's definitely impressed with her home, but Jess, do not move that man into your house, girl. Do not move that man into your house. It just seems like such a beautiful space. Why would you want to ruin that with Chris? Like, don't ruin it, okay? So we get some more joking about Jess's age because she uses a heating pad at night. Then we see them compare the walkability of Chris's neighborhood to Jess's, and it sounds like Jess is trying to convince Chris to move in with her, and I didn't like that one bit, but they quickly get back to talking about how perfect they are for each other and how great this experience has been for them, and I'm just like, I'm gonna see y'all in about 15 minutes. Okay, we gonna get to it. So next we have Alex and Ashley. They're both working from home and Ashley asks Alex if he's on a work call and he responds and he's like, so the way that, this works is I respond to them maybe like once a month. Okay, so I have to trade in different markets every month. This is like my job at this point. She didn't ask you that. All she asked you was if you're on a work call. And if you look at Ashley during this clip, she's trying not to laugh because she's like, sir, I didn't ask you any of that, all right? Her dad already pulled your card last night, Alex, down at the dinner table. We already know that you ain't about shit. Don't try to come and overcompensate now, okay? So next they discuss leaving Cleveland, and it's very clear that Alex does not want to stay there. And Ashley is more reluctant to leave, but she has good reason to not want to leave. We gonna get into it. So Ashley says, look, don't worry. I promise we will not be stuck here. And Alex says, yeah, because, I just got a soccer coaching contract in Florida. Alex, are you a scammer? Your energy is real, it's giving scammer, it's giving shysty. You know what I'm saying? Ashley tells him that she has no ties to Florida, but Arizona could be an option. Alex says, okay, good, because I can definitely get a soccer coaching job over there too. Alex, just go home. Wherever that is for you, just go there, okay? Alex says that moving to Florida would be great for them because the state aligns with where they're both at politically, baby. The way I started cracking up, Alex was like, y'all not just gonna spill my tea, okay? She's MAGA too, it's not just me. Ashley is already over him. She knows that he's just lying at this point. And to me, I think that she's just entertaining these conversations for the plot and for the check. Because we already know that after that dinner, Ashley's daddy pulled her ass aside and said, look, if you even think about marrying this man, I am writing you out of my will. But Alex wants an answer right now. And she tells him, and she has to tell him multiple times, I don't know. I can't tell you right now. I have to speak to my boss. And she tells him it's only been like 5 minutes. And Alex says,
And I've gotten a job like in that time period. Like that's kind of my point.
Okay. Listen, Alex is going to start negging Ashley to make himself feel better. He's insecure about his employment situation. He's clearly not being completely honest. Ashley has an actual real job. She's up for promotion here, and he wants her to uproot her life and move somewhere else for his unstable situation. And now he's concerned that Ashley isn't able to be fluid. Do you see how you can make decisions, career-altering, life-changing decisions for a partner who was just telling another woman that you aren't even his type physically? Like, can you see? And he's framing it as her lack of fluidity being the issue in this situation, when no, it's your lack of stability. I am sure that if you presented Ashley with something stable, she would not hesitate to go to Florida with you, go anywhere with you. And I know that I called Ashley unserious because she does come off a little unserious, but she ain't dumb. She peeps what's going on. She knows what's up, and she's practicing self-preservation. You know how many women didn't finish school, quit their jobs, had a baby under false pretenses, didn't take a promotion at work, and a plethora of other things behind a man who wasn't shit? Don't do it. Alex feels like Ashley is clocking him because her eyes are piercing through his soul. Usually he's like, "Oh, you're dangerous." Usually he loves when she's looking at him, but not now. He's shook because he knows that his facade is fading. So Ashley is quietly observing him, and he's like, "Well, what are you thinking? Well, what are your thoughts? Tell me what you think. I've been really open with you nomadically, right?" Yeah, he said nomadically. Okay, so since he's still feeling uneasy, now he's got to bring Ashley down in some way. And he's like, "Well, you know, you keep rearranging the stuff in the fridge. You keep moving my water bottles around, and that's very off-putting." Ashley cuts him off and she reminds him, "Hey, that was only one time. We've already had a conversation about it, and I haven't done it since. You said that you were cool with it. We've already spoken about this, okay?" The way that Ashley is talking to him right now is night and day from the way that she was speaking to him during the honeymoons. And at this point, I was so sure that Ashley had the ick. The allure was gone. The mystery was gone. All of the sexual tension was gone. But child, I was wrong. I was wrong. So Alex is crumbling and he's stuttering while he's grasping at straws, but you can really see that Papa Paul was coming up out of Ashley in this conversation. You can get that vibe, okay? Because the way that she was looking at him was like, "You a liar, you a liar."
When I fold clothes, I am wondering if I'm doing it right.
Wait, hold on a second.
You can fold your clothes however you want to fold them.
So he's complaining to her because she hasn't taught him how to fold clothes. Am I hearing that right? So that's on her. That's on her to teach you, your grown ass, how to fold clothes. Okay. You didn't fold any clothes when you were in Finland or in Australia or wherever the hell you been? Now that responsibility is on her to teach you. Okay, got it. Is she gonna have to teach you everything else too? I need to do some more Reddit stories on weaponized incompetence because this has weaponized incompetence written all over it. Okay, so now they're just going back and forth and telling each other the things that they don't like that the other one does. And Ashley says that they haven't been intimate since they have left Cabo, and physical touch is very important to her. Girl, yeah, we know. So apparently Ashley has been giving him the green light, but according to Ashley, he sits on the phone. The other night they had rubbed mud all over each other in the shower and he ended up leaving. She was like, that was a clear opportunity, for us to do the do. And he left. Okay, where did he go? Because we're gonna see one of the other guys left last night too. Y'all just be leaving these girls in the room like that's... Anyway, he claims that she's on her phone as well at night. She denies this claim and she tells him that she's not going to force him to do anything that he doesn't want to do. We also learned that in Cabo, Alex told Ashley that the physical connection wasn't there. Okay, Ashley, so why are you damn near begging this man to sleep with you? Like what? Where's that coming from? Is everyone okay this season? We have Ashley and Brit damn near begging these men to sleep with them. Like what's happening this season? I ain't never seen no shit like this on Love is Blind. I ain't never seen no shit like this ever. Okay, so Alex clarifies that he told her that she's not his typical type, but he's still very attracted to her, which he feels like he has made clear. But wait, there's more. This man says, and you're on your period. So like, it would be nice if you let me know because I don't want a kid right now and I'm not gonna track it for you. And Ashley's like, do you think that I'm trying to trap you or something? I don't want kids right now either. And Alex says, okay, well, I'm happy to hear that because, if you want, we can do a shared period tracker. It would be nice for you to at least tell me when you're ovulating. He is the dummy in this conversation. And it's so funny because he's speaking to her in this condescending tone, like he's teaching Ashley something. You're the dummy in this conversation, sir. Alex is like an onion who's getting peeled back layer by layer in every single episode. And it is truly, truly beautiful to witness. It really is. I love it. I love it. So then they argue some more about sex because Ashley says that she's sexually frustrated. And Alex is like, okay, so why didn't you me last night? Like you had all the opportunity. Why didn't you just come me? And I was like, oh my goodness. He's like, it's not all on me. Why are you trying to put it on me? I said, cut. Just cut it right here. Just cut it right here. Has it even been like 2 months yet since y'all have been together and y'all are arguing about sex this early? And he said, he was like, I think that I had initiated it enough when we were in Cabo. Like he was checking off the boxes like, oh God, I gotta do this shit again. Like this is bad. Y'all should just break up right now and cut your losses because it ain't much. Alex's lack of knowledge in this area is so hilarious to me because people like him have such a strong opinion on what women should do with their bodies. It's hilarious. He has no idea what the hell he's talking about. So Ashley has to excuse herself because now Alex is just saying a bunch of things that's wrong and that he doesn't like that she does. Just so we're clear, what's happening right now is that he feels insecure about the job conversation that they had initially. So now he has to throw a bunch of things at Ashley so that she can feel inadequate in some way as well. Okay, but nothing is sticking and she's not giving him the reaction that he was hoping for. Alex is a very fragile person, all right? So after she steps away for a couple of minutes, Ashley comes back to the kitchen and she says, look, I'll try to relax with the cleaning and I'll try to figure out my work situation and I'll initiate a little bit more in the bedroom because Alex was claiming that he was doing all of the initiating. And when she's saying this, it sounds very robotic, like, okay, let me just apologize so that I can say that I apologize. It doesn't sound like she means it. And he says, okay, because I don't want a kid right now. Sir, she doesn't want a kid either. Are you listening to what she doesn't want a child either? What the hell is wrong with you? You know what? Good for you, Ashley. That is the type of man that you like, that you picked. Good for you. Enjoy him, okay? Then he says that she needs to tell him because he's not sure because he was an oops baby. He's like, I was an oops baby, so I don't know. Like, can I touch you when you're on your period? Like, you got to tell me. This scene was way too long, but I think that production really wanted to drive the point home for us, for the audience, that there's not much up here when it comes to, he's a yapper. He's a yapper, but there's not much going on up here, okay? But this was a very cringy conversation. Ashley still isn't turned off. I thought that she would be, but she is still begging for sex. And she tells him that she doesn't want him to get bored with her. He apologizes if his self-confidence is coming off as numbness. He's just a really confident person and he can't help it. But he promises that he is ready to settle down in one place. And he's like, we're just both freaked out right now. And Ashley reminds him of like yesterday when he wasn't nervous. Now he's freaked out, okay? So Alex is giving very unstable. You're a soccer coach. You're a day trader. You sell Girl Scout cookies on the weekends. Ashley, do not quit your job and move anywhere for this unstable man. Y'all just need to break up because this is absolutely horrible. All right. So next we see Jordan meeting Amber's brother, Jacob, and he wants to make sure that Jordan is genuine. He don't really do much, but you know how they do on these shows. So they talk about Jordan's favorite dish to whip up. And Jordan says that the chef, he says that his favorite thing to cook is burgers and French fries. I don't know, Jordan. I don't know how this chef, maybe he makes some banging burgers and French fries. I was expecting a different type of meal. I don't know. Moving on, Jacob is happy that Amber has found love after 2 shitty relationships. And Jordan says that Amber is the first woman to make him feel like he actually wants children. We also learned that Jordan and Matt, Amber's baby zaddy, they had a little conversation. It went well. It was off camera and it was very productive. And we see Jacob give his blessing on the union. And that's that. All right. So the weddings are 18 days away. We have Vic and Christine. They're discussing waiting 2 years before getting a house and starting a family. And she says that she wants to have kids at a point where both of their moms will still be around to enjoy being grandmothers. All right. So Vic asks her how she would feel about having a biracial child. Christine says that she grew up rural, but she would prefer for their child to grow up in a more diverse area where their children can be exposed to all races and cultures. Love that. Okay. And then he relates it back to living in Brooklyn. And he's explaining to Christine that sometimes cops view Black people differently and he's going to have to educate their kids on on the history of this country, not from a place of victimhood, but as a way to teach them that the world isn't colorblind. And Christina's just like, okay, yeah. She seems enthused, okay, but Victor, you're going to have to work overtime on that teaching. You're going to have to teach the kid, and you're going to have to teach Christine. She looked a little lost, but still optimistic.
It's a love for your kid thing. It's not necessarily a racial thing, you know?
So Victor says that he has absolutely zero fears about raising a biracial child with Christine and giving their child a sense of belonging. Christine says that she doesn't really have any fear, but there will always be a reminder that she won't be able to relate to her child 100%. Yeah, you won't. Undoubtedly, it's going to be a challenging dynamic, but they do promise to lean on each other to create an environment where their child has a sense of identity.
I love you.
I love you too.
Did they sleep together yet? Did we get, I'm not the coochie police, but I can't remember, and I'm nosy. I should know this, right? I don't remember. Let me know in the comments, all right? So anyway, these two are the only ones that I feel will make it to the altar and will most likely say yes at the altar. That I have zero hope for anyone else on this show. Oh, well, no, Jordan and Lord, you know, Jordan and the girl with the chunky heels. I think that they might make it to the altar too. Okay, so next we see Brit taking Devonte to meet her parents, her younger brother, and her sister-in-law. She hasn't brought anyone home in 10 years. Okay, and I said, so this is who you decide to... Okay, girl. So we see Dad inspecting the ring a little bit, and then they talk about Devonte's family. He has 5 siblings. There's a total of 5 boys and 1 girl. 2 of his siblings are twins, and Brit's family is excited for the chance of having twins in their family thanks to Devonte. Okay, so Brit does what we see a lot of people do on this show. When it's time to meet the family, they act like everything has been so great. And she tells them how Devonte just does things around the house and she doesn't even have to ask him.
And I was like,
And he does everything for her. Does he talk to you though? Is he talking to you? I will say that the energy looks better between them right now, but I think that they're both pretending. Okay, so they talk about the reveal and how nervous they were, but Brit says that she was amazed because of his eyes and his freckles, and he was so big. Girl, you were not impressed with, you said that you would not even look at him in the street. And then also I remember you saying that you thought that he would be bigger. So you weren't happy with his size either, girl. You just at that table straight up lying. So Brit says when she saw his eye color, she knew that they were going to have pretty babies one day. And I said, remember in a previous review, and I'm like, she tracks. Those two, they go together. They don't like each other, but they go together. Okay, they definitely share some similarities. So Devonte says that they connected in the pods on being generous to other people. Brit says that Devonte is so intentional with his words and he carries himself in such an amazing way. Brittany, you really putting it on right now. You laying it on real thick. You know this show is recorded, right? And your family, they're gonna watch it back and see that. Okay, I'm just making sure. So Devonte says his dad wasn't in his life, so he wants to be a great dad and make the right decisions because he's only getting married once. He says something to this effect like once in every single episode, and it's starting to sound like a warning, okay? But Brit's parents feel the same way, and they say, look, you can't even say the word divorce in this house because it's not an option. It will never be an option. They're going to learn and grow and challenge each other, but they're going to stay together. Brit's dad gets emotional at the thought of his parents staying married up until his mother's passing. He says that people throw marriage away too easily. He's following his parents' tradition, and his sons will follow his tradition. And I'm like, well, who the hell are you to determine what they gonna do in their marriage? How can you even determine that? Very strange. The family says that Brit is glowing and they've never seen her so happy. Devonte is there playing his part, child. He's all smiles and laughs. And well, they both are, honestly. So next we see Brit's dad have a private conversation with Devonte, and he tells him what a big step this is. And he asks Devonte if he has any reservations, anything at all. Of course, Devonte is going to say no. I mean, duh, no one expects him to say, well, honestly, I only mess with white girls. I'm doing your daughter a favor. Honestly. So, Devonte put on a good show because Brit's dad absolutely loves him, tells him that he trusts him, and he welcomes him to the family. He says, you are my son, child.
Honestly, I wish the wedding was tomorrow.
Pump pump your brakes, slow down. He's going to be so disappointed when he watches this show back. But the meeting went well. Brit's dad is damn near pushing her down the aisle to marry this man, okay? Next, we're with Bree's crazy ass and Connor, and they're meeting Bree's mom. And Bree's mom is really a ball of fun. You can see she's very excited to hear about the process. And they tell her that they connected on loving their families and Wolverine. So that's how they knew that they should be married, right? Of course. So they also say that they've seen all sides of each other and they're going to stand beside each other no matter what. Bree then tells her mom that she had to teach him how to put his clothes in a suitcase. Even if you wanted to tell your mother this information, which I don't even think is necessary, but even if you wanted to tell her this, why do it in front of Connor? Bree likes embarrassing Connor, and it's very irritating at this point. She clearly gets a kick out of it. Bree and her mom, they break off to have a private conversation, and Bree says that she loves the way that he loves her, and he makes her feel, and it makes her love him even more. So mom warns her that her dad will have more questions, but ultimately it's Bree's decision to marry Connor or not. Bree tells her mom all the things that were wrong with Connor's place. Side note, do you know what Bree gives? They remind me of Michael and Jan from The Office. The Office is one of my favorite shows ever. One of my favorite shows ever. Bree and Connor would be giving Michael and Jan in the dinner party episode. If you know, you know. They're just the couple that argues in front of everyone and makes everyone around them feel very awkward. I can picture Bree and Connor like yelling very intimate, personal things across the room to each other when things get heated. These two are just a mess. They just need to break up. So we see that Bree is worried about Connor's ability to motivate her because she's such a self-starter. So then what you need him to motivate you for, if you will? Anyway, she's just rambling at this point, but ultimately she tells her mom that she's not quite yet ready for Connor to meet her dad because she knows that her dad is a tough cookie. Then we see Connor come back and Bree just has to bring up his Christmas tree because yes, she already told her mom, but Connor wasn't there. So she has to repeat the story because remember, it's about embarrassing him. And you can tell that Connor is sick of her shit. We all are Connor, okay? And honestly, the 2 minutes that we had with Bree's mom, I can tell that she's just as messy as her daughter, okay? So Bree is telling her mom, he's such a boy. He's such a little boy. He has a keg at his place. He's just such a little boy. And her mom says, he's a man, okay? Call him a man.
Oh yeah, he's a man.
Yeah, girl, why are you calling him a little boy? I don't like Bree. It's decided. But Connor, you can dump her at any time as well, honey. Okay? You can dump her because clearly you can see it all over his face. Connor has been biting his tongue for like the past week. He's going to get sick of this soon and very soon. So the weddings are 17 days away and we see Emma meeting Mike's parents, sister, and brother-in-law. Mike is nervous about Emma fitting in with his family. Mike's mom doesn't hold back and she says, look, when I heard the news, I started crying because I was extremely upset. I didn't like that I didn't get to meet you beforehand. And this isn't the process that I envisioned for my son or for any of my children. 7 seconds into this conversation, I said, there is no way that this lady is going to accept her son not having grandkids. Editing Roxiie here, I meant to say not having children instead of grandkids. I just wanted to come and correct that because someone going to be in the comments like, oh, you said the wrong thing. All right, back to the video. There's no way in hell. Okay, so Emma girl, I see you have a monster-in-law loading if you choose to get married because we know that you really don't want to have children, all right? So Mike says that they're very confident because they talked about so much in the pods. They covered everything in the pods. Yeah, but every time y'all have a conversation, your conversation ends in,
We'll figure it out.
Mike's dad asks if she's ever dated Italians before, and they all laugh, but he's like, no, I'm dead serious, okay? It's different cultures. We need to know. You need to know what you're getting yourself into. So Emma's adoptive dad is Italian, and she says that she was raised Italian, so she's very familiar with the culture. Then they talk about Emma liking to cook and spaghetti sauce and how to say coffee and all this other bullshit until dad finally brings up grandchildren. And he says, do you both want children? You both want children, right? Here we go. Let's do it.
I want to find that stability to be able to confidently say yes.
Mike's parents are not happy to hear that response. Honestly, I thought the whole table was going to jump her because everyone looks confused. Like she don't what? So Emma says that she just needs more time to confidently say that she wants kids, but she is open to it. Emma, just stop. Emma, come on. Just Emma. You don't want kids, girl. Stop stop dragging this shit out and just say what it is and leave this situation. Mike, also, you know that okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Mike, but you know she don't want no kids. Why y'all doing this? So anyway, Mike says that he was fully aware of this in the pods. Mike's mom doesn't understand how Emma can say that she's sure enough to get married, but she's not sure enough to have kids. These two ain't getting married, girl. So then Mike's mom says, okay, well, she says that now. Yeah, she's open to having kids. What happens when you guys get married? And then 6 months later, she's like, okay, I changed my mind. I don't want kids. What then? What are you going to do then?
No offense, honey.
No.
The way, listen, I was cracking up because it's a logical question. Like, yeah, what are we going to do? Mike's mom is apologetic because she's like, look, I don't want to come off like I'm attacking you, Emma, but I need to know the answer to these questions, okay? So Emma says that she was fully prepared to have these conversations when entering the experience, so she's not offended. She doesn't feel attacked, but she reiterates that at this point, she just cannot definitively say that she is having children. And I can appreciate that Mike is trying to have her back and present as a united front while at the table, but we know that when they get back home, he's going to be singing a different tune saying, hey, I just want a family. I just want a family. Even Mike's sister pops in and she's like, you know, I want my kids to have a cousin. We grew up really close to our cousins. Okay, girl, but this is Emma body, baby. Emma's body ain't concerned about what you want in your kid to have a cousin to play with, sis. So Emma tells them that she was adopted at the age of 3 and everyone in her family was white. I'd assume that this was very tough growing up in addition to all of the other circumstances that Emma had to endure, right? So she tells them about her medical history and the scars and not knowing what she can possibly pass down to her child. The parents do look worried and they tell both Mike and Emma, hey, if y'all get married, there's no divorce. But it's your life. You can do what you want. No divorce, but it's your life, okay? Then he gets very emotional, but he gives his blessing. And later in the confessional, we see Mike's parents saying that they really like Emma and they think that she will blend beautifully with their family. Okay, so now we are here with Jessica and Chris. First thing I noticed was there was no hug and no kiss when she came into the apartment. Okay, so apparently Chris went out last night and didn't tell Jess where he was going. Oh, really? That's how you moving, Chris? All he did was send a text telling her that he's staying out with his friend. Now, who's this friend? Who's this friend and why did you need to stay over there last night? So Chris says, look, I don't need to be in constant communication with you. And Jess says, yeah, we don't need to be in constant communication either. But that's not what she said. She never asked you for constant communication, Chris. He's my man, Chris. My son is a Cartwright. She never asked you for that. That's not what she said. He's being very dismissive. He looks irritated and just claims that he told her that he needed a 13-hour break, but he's been gone for 42 hours.
I sent you one text today saying that I love you, and you didn't say anything back.
Chris denies saying that he needed 13 hours specifically, and she's like, no, you did say that. Like, why? I wouldn't just remember that number out of nowhere. That's what you said. She then has to explain the difference between not speaking to her all day and being in constant communication. He knows what he's doing. He knows the damn difference. He's playing dumb, okay? Then he says that he needs to be more direct and he should have been more direct all along. But instead of being direct, he asks her a question and he says, do you think that we have strong physical connection? So you didn't come home last night. She's asking you about it and you're bringing up y'all's lack of physical connection. Were you making physical connection with someone last night? Is that what's going on? So she says, yeah, I think we do have really strong physical connection. And he says, look, I do want to see this through. Okay. I do want to choose my words very carefully. I don't want to come off as a head. I want to be kind when I'm saying this because we had great communication and everything was real. But
I date people who can do CrossFit and shit, Pilates every day.
So let me get this straight. It's hard for you to have a connection because you're used to dating women with different body types.
A different type of, I don't know.
Body?
The way that you talking, like you just be out here dating, getting everyone you want. Why the hell you had to come on this show? Why you had to come on this show? Because you talking, Chris, you talking like you just a big dog, like you just got it like that. Like the ladies they just can't get enough of you. So why'd you have to come here? And he tells Jess that he just doesn't know if it's there for him. Now, let me say this. Is it better to be partnered with someone who works out? Y'all go to the gym together and y'all can motivate each other? Yes, it's a beautiful thing. But did y'all not discuss this in the pods? I would think that as much as Chris talked about CrossFit and this, that, and the third, you would have been able to establish in the pods that y'all are not equally yoked when coming to the gym and fitness, okay? So why did you take your ass out of the pods knowing that, since apparently it's so important to you, only to say this bullshit here? I'm not gonna lie, I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I would have called him short. I would have called him short. I feel like it's warranted in this conversation. It's warranted because the audacity is absolutely hilarious to me. Look at what he just said. Look at what he just said. I feel so bad for Jess in this moment. And I told y'all that Chris wasn't shit. Okay, I just want to make sure I understand this. You're used to dating women with the body type that you like, but you bring your ass on a show called Love is Blind when you don't know what the person behind the wall looks like, when you could have just stayed your ass in the wild and gotten any girl you wanted, right? Because that's how you talk. Like, you got it like that. So why'd you bring your ass on this show? Listen, y'all not gonna piss me off. That was the episode. I cannot wait to watch episode 9. I am hoping that Jess leaves Chris's behind sitting right on that couch and breaks up with him, because the audacity is out of this. It's absolutely it's really insane. Hopefully she takes this information at face value and does not move forward with this relationship or this marriage. Let me know all your thoughts and predictions below. Please, no spoilers. I'll get episode 9 out to you as soon as I can. Don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that you're made aware when I upload. And I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye.
Roxiie